Hi, my name is Nathalie. I'm the director of golf at University of Laverne. Have been playing golf for a while now, and I'm here with Lee Lopez, and we want to chat a little bit of what we have planned for you guys.
And I'm Lee, UCLA alum, current LPGA Tour player. We wanted to invite you to the Riverside Golf Lab, do some golf clinics with Coach Nathalie and I.
And we have some amazing stuff prepared for you. Actually, not bad.
Nice. So Nathalie, you're originally from Brazil.
Yes.
Right?
Born and raised.
Born and raised in Brazil, and the first time you came to the United States was for college golf?
Yeah. I was just remembering this. I actually came a year before for a week I went to IMG for a week.
Yeah.
And it was almost a waste of my time and their time because I didn't speak any English. So it was hard to communicate and take lessons in another language.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. But then, yeah, my first full time in the US.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it was in 2009. I was playing golf for about 4 years then.
Okay.
And then my first 2 years was just learning, playing a lot of junior events. And then I started playing some M's, like as an adult. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, became good really fast just because I was putting a ton of time into it, just how we talked about. Mm-hmm. I was on the range. If my dad allowed me, I would skip school to be on the range. But then we had some priorities as well to get school done and get good grades, do the whole thing. And then I finished my high school and then I got some offers to come to the US and play college. My dream at a time was to not even do college. It was just to try to go straight LPGA or, try it out.
Yeah.
But then my goal, I wanted a degree. So I was like, you know what, let me try this first and see how it goes. A lot of fears because I didn't even speak the language at a time, didn't even pass the TOEFL test. All the tests that you have to pass to get on a bigger school, I couldn't. So CB was perfect, gave me the opportunity to do ESL classes my first year, just learn the language, play some golf, and, get my degree kind of like how I had planned before.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
What an amazing support system, I feel like, from CBU and Coach Machado, right? I mean,
so my first coach was Lane Pace. He passed last year or 2 years ago. It was huge. I think being in a small school, you always went to a bigger school, but being on a small school allowed me to have that one-on-one with my coach and my professors, and they supported me like all the way. Even though my first year we didn't understand each other, it was just perfect.
So what role did teammates also play in that?
For them. But I'm not gonna lie, first year was hard, I think, to get to know them on a friendship level.
Right.
I knew they were family. I knew they were a huge part of my life here. So got really close to them. Most of them I became like a part of their family, right? Mm-hmm. Just didn't have anywhere to go for the break, and they would just take me under the wing, and but learned a lot of slang and bad words with them, so it was good.
And so what advice would you give to aspiring collegiate players, both local and international?
I would tell them to enjoy those 4 years, make the most of it. I was pretty competitive, so for me it was hard to separate joy and golf. Mm-hmm. I had to be working. I played for the national team, so I couldn't stop. So like a lot of people ask me, it's like, oh, what did you do over summer? I was practicing because I was still playing, and I wanted to do well the next year and the following year. But one advice is to enjoy those 4 years in college. Do all the social stuff that the school provides and hang out, but have that time management. I think is important for you to separate that hour of hitting balls. That was horrible. The hour hitting balls, doing homework, and having a social life. Yeah, I think that's a key there. so you're not going crazy. And after 4 years, you have friendships that you made for the rest of your life. So that's it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now as director of golf at Laverne,
Yeah.
right? What advice would you give as a college golf coach?
As a college golf coach, practice hard. Just kidding. The transition for me from player, so I went from player to be an instructor for 6 years and then becoming a head coach. Meanwhile, I was also the assistant coach for Cal Baptist, so I didn't leave home for a while there. But the main advice I give to people that wanted to take that route in their life, also to play and then eventually become an instructor, is to learn, to get knowledge, right? To take all the courses that you can possibly take and get all the information. Don't be biased towards anything. Like, the more you learn, the more you're able to expose and share and learn from everyone. And, you know, that's how I learned, just watching the instructors give golf lessons and ask questions. I think the main thing is don't be shy to, you know, mic here or even yourself. Hey, how do I do this? How do I teach this? And stuff like that. I think that's the main thing.
Continue being a student of the game, even as an
being a
instructor.
student. You're learning.
Right?
I've been playing half of my life, and every day there's a new thing there, and there's a new finding, and you know, you learn every freaking day.
Yeah.
It's
awesome. And how about for beginners? So, beginning to golf. What advice would you give them?
Be patient. This game is not easy. It's not hard to get a good grasp of it, but it gets pretty frustrating. So just patient and put time into it. I think one thing that I got me frustrated with students, it was when they wanted to get better, but then it was minimal effort, especially for beginners. You know, just put time into it. I think the results will come a lot faster than just practicing once a month and seeing your coach every other month. So that helps. So tell us a little bit about you. Like, how did you start playing golf?
Yeah, so I started playing when I was pretty young. My dad had just picked up the game, and I think that was super fun. We kind of learned together. By the time I was 5, 6, 7, he was actually a pretty good golfer. So, he'd spent a few years learning the game himself. And I think that's what made it fun for me, because I was just, around people that were also beginners. So it was a very relaxed, fun environment.
Yeah, so you also learned with your dad.
Yeah,
same thing with me. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
So you're 5 and already like playing well and winning little trophies, or just for fun?
Just for fun. Just for fun at 5. I didn't really start competing until probably 11, 12.
Okay.
And then truly taking it seriously at 10 years old. Like at 10 years old, I was practicing a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, and then started playing in the junior circuit after that.
Who helped you in the beginning with your swing, basically?
My dad. My
So
dad.
He helped. Instructor?
Yes, he was my first instructor, and then from there, I believe I was a freshman in high school, around 15 years old.
Yeah.
I felt like was just like, okay, let's learn more. Let's get to the next level. And he found Bob Laskin he's now out of Arroyo Trabuco, and so.
Oh, so you have been with him for a while.
I've been with Bobby since I was 15.
He knows your
we're going on.
Yes,
almost 20 years, and that was awesome. So yeah, my dad and Bobby.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see some swings.
Yes.
What are some cool titles that you have as a junior?
Oh, as a junior, takes me back. Well, I
know your resume, so it's some good stuff.
I won some AJGAs. I would say that was definitely something that I really was aspiring to, like play out there consistently and contend, and that was awesome. So probably winning on the AJGA tour. That was a huge highlight, and qualifying for USGA events.
Okay.
I qualified for
That's huge. I always tried.
Yeah, USAM. You don't realize how many juniors sign up. It's incredible, all over the country.
I remember playing once, and it was like 300 girls, 2 fields, and I was like,
yes.
All right.
Yes.
10% is good. It's really good, actually.
Yes. So I qualified for the Public Links and the USAM.
Let's go.
Yeah, and they're always at amazing places. So that was really cool. I was able to travel, play these top-notch
courses.
Host places. It was amazing. I didn't get to qualify for a U.S. Open as a junior, and that was always one of my biggest goals. Let's qualify for a U.S. Open.
As a junior?
As a junior, yeah. And you know what? I realized, though, I had to wait a few years to actually qualify, but it was kind of nice to get the Czech Pro instead of.
I was gonna say that was probably better, less traumatizing, I guess, if you do it that way.
Yeah, so I would say AJGA wins, and then getting to compete on a national stage like a USGA event. Yeah.
Did you represent U.S. or any other country? Because I know you're.
I represented Southern California for America's Cup.
Yeah.
So I got to travel. We did go to Mexico once. That was great. And then Arizona and Oregon, and they were so special. We had a really nice host who took the whole team, Nikki Gatch. She's still really big here in Southern California. Yeah, she's awesome. And so that was fun for us. I mean, she just understood, these are girls that are serious about their game, but let's go out there and also have a great time. And that was one of my favorite memories because, I didn't get to play in a national team.
Yeah.
We didn't have that at the time.
It's interesting, like how, I don't know, I grew up playing for the Brazilian team, or as a golfer, I played a lot for the national team. When I got to the U.S. and I asked my teammates, and they're like, nah, we don't really have that big of incentive to play or tournaments, really. That was kind of interesting. How was it playing for a team as a junior? Because I know later you joined the college life, and how was it?
I loved it as a junior, and after playing a lot of junior events here in SoCal, you really get to know the same people, right? The same families. So it was nice. I think all 3 years that I represented Southern California, they were alongside really good friends, and it was so fun.
Then my next question is, how was it being a girl? Like when I played, I didn't even have anybody to practice with, and it was now I feel like we see a little bit more often.
Definitely.
The girls joining each other and stuff like that. But back when we were juniors, like it was hard, right?
Totally.
How was that for you?
I know. I mean, how valuable would it have been if we had met in junior golf and we were like, hey, you want to get better at golf? I want to get better at golf. Let's go practice together, right? Let's go play. And so at the beginning, it was just my dad and I. And then for a few years, as I was starting to get into junior tournaments, it was just by myself or with my mom there to help me or my dad. And then later that I started making friends, around 14, 15, 16, a lot of these friends were like, hey, can we come join you? So they'd come out, hit some shots with us. We'd go out on the golf course together. And I mean, it was so nice. It was so nice. And all of these girls are still in the golf industry, which is awesome.
Yeah,
so
it's
special. It is.
It's cool to see like the faces that we saw when we were juniors, or even in college, like all the players that we played with, and then you start seeing them LPGA or even as an instructor somewhere, and having golf academies.
Yes.
So to me, it's kind of cool to see a familiar face from when we play to now we're adults.
Right.
Now,
yeah. Like as a junior, you hardly really see other junior golfers, and now the game's just exploding with a bunch of amazing young women that are really love the game and are excited to be
more and more
involved. Yeah.
And how was your transition to college? Did you always know you want to go college, then pro, or?
Yes. So for me, college was always the goal. I was the first in my family to go to college, and that was why, for me, that was the road. I didn't really truly commit to playing professional golf until I was already at college.
All right,
and then when I was there, that's when I was like, okay, got this time to work on my game and get a little better. And so I felt like the transition was actually pretty easy. I always did pretty good at school, so academically it was okay. And I was excited to be able to devote a lot of my time to golf, really. I mean, and everything's set up for you, right? You don't even have to.
I know, you just have to show up. Exactly. I feel like it's the best.
It's the best
4 years of your life. You just little robots, just going to where you're told. And
I know. I mean, Mike and I talk about it all the time. Being a college athlete was by far one of the coolest experiences.
We still complain about something, right?
Totally. I know.
This class is so hard.
Oh, it's so hard. Or, oh my gosh, it's finals week.
It's so hot in here. Yeah, it's crazy.
I can't believe I have to get up and practice at 6 a.m. And it's like, now we do it voluntarily. Like,
we wake up for it.
Yeah, we wake up now to go.
We set up this so early too.
Yes.
And then when was the click for you? It was like, hey, I want to go and try pro. I know you mentioned a little bit it was during college, but was it the beginning of it, the end of it, and who had the biggest influence on that?
Oh, wow. So I would say for me, the biggest click was probably when I started at UCLA. I was amongst other women.
Best of the best.
Yes, right? You're amongst other people that share the same goal, and you're watching how hard they're working. And not only them, but like the coaches there, they're working so hard, right? They want to help you get better. They care about the program. They want to win national championships just as much as you do. So you create this awesome culture of let's work hard together and get there. And I think that for me was the click. Like, okay, I have to improve. I have to step up my game and, you know, really compete on this team, compete on a national level, and then, right, hopefully get up to the LPGA Tour. Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that crazy how, like, surrounding yourself with people with the same goals, you know, the same, they're all driven to do, it makes you step up.
Definitely.
Because to a point, I want to say I got a little comfortable in college, right? Like you get, like you said, you just have to show up. You just have to be there. Right. And at some point, if you're not surrounded by people with mind like yours, then it's really hard to move on from that. But I know you certainly always had really good squad, and I'm sure that was a lot easier for you to, you know, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, and you had the game too, so it wasn't like, hey, I need to work like extra hard to get
But it was still that way. That's how I felt, you know. I felt like I have to just be the hardest worker on that team, and that was so hard to do because everybody there was just next level hard workers. You know,
can only imagine.
Yeah, it was almost like this.
Who can
yes, it
work
was
harder,
awesome.
right?
Yeah, so maybe those were also my biggest influences were my coaches and my teammates. Maybe at the time, I'm sure my coaches knew it, but maybe my teammates didn't know, right? That you are influencing each other, right, in such a positive way.
And then you went junior golf, college golf, LPGA. Was it easy to get where you are right now?
Oh, no, that was so tough. So I went from graduating to competing in my first professional golf tournament a week later. And I just, like, a little bit like you, I didn't take summers off. Summers were for golf. They were to get ready for the upcoming season or to play in events that I wanted to play in. And it just Q school is so difficult. It's such a tough, because it just, 1 week decides the next, and it really just, it's a long job interview, right? Yeah, and it just sets you up for your job for the whole year. Whereas, like, if you have a bad tournament and you're already out on the LPGA Tour, okay, you move on, right? You've got plenty more to play in.
Yeah, you have a whole schedule.
School is just, a beast. So it was so hard. I didn't get through my first year, but my second year I got through from Symetra Tour, and I almost feel like that was easier for me because I was able to play a full season to earn my way instead of just 3
And you can see
weeks.
a path, right? Instead of just throwing there, like,
definitely
qualifying rounds when you have to play qualifying rounds for no, you know, you don't know what's next. It's probably a lot harder than Symetra did such a good job setting up a schedule. You know your path and then just follow it. And I think before that was a little bit murky, right? We didn't know what
and you get a little taste as to what the LPGA may look like by playing a full season.
I remember caddying for one of my teammates that did the Symetra in Palm Springs. They played Mission. Yeah, and gosh, that day was, I think it was like 115. And there were, I don't know how many girls there were because they played the 3 courses, the Gary, Dinah, and then Pit Dye. So many people I never seen in my life, all for one purpose. And I remember my teammate, Tina, hopefully, I think she's on the business too, telling me, it's like, oh my gosh, this is insane and this is serious. And I was like, yeah, people from all over the world.
All over the world
like,
are right
I
at
saw
that one
people
tournament.
that I played with the national teams from Iceland. I saw the Scottish girls that used to win everything, and it was like, this is crazy. I'm almost glad I didn't take that path. I was like, this is stressful. This is a lot of, it's nerve-wracking.
But it's also really rewarding.
It is.
It's so hard, but it's also just kind of like, and that's where I think that shift of moving into more like yourself-based really helps. Like you kind of try to block it all out, you know, and just say, okay, well, here I am. You know, I may be one of 450 for this one
one
event. But I still, it's just me and the golf ball here. Let's just try to get through this round. And I think that's where maybe it's a little bit different than playing college golf. College golf, you're a lot more team, and you care about what your teammates are doing. You share responsibilities. Yes, you want to help each other. And then out on the professional circuit, you almost have to kind of block out that competition and just say, okay, well, this is what I brought this week, and just Yeah.
It's a process, and
It is.
it's one tournament at a
Yes,
time.
yes.
And now you're giving lessons.
I am. Yes.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Yes. So I'm still on maternity leave, and I'm planning on using all of it. And the first year I stayed home with our son and just soaked all of it up. It was awesome. This year I'm trying to balance in a little bit of teaching, and it's been such a great experience. It really has. I've just kept an open mind and learned a lot. I still have a lot to learn, but I also feel like there's so much to share just from our experiences going through what a lot of people are going through. I mean, way back when we were beginners, right? We were also junior golfers. We've been college players, and we've had failures, successes, and we've
been through all.
We've been through it all,
We've been through all, and I
Yes.
think you have all the hours, all the knowledge.
Yeah.
And when I started giving lessons right after college, I felt that I knew so much and I wanted to share. And I'm sure like right now you can share junior experiences, you can share college experiences, you can share how to be a mom and a pro at the same time. You have so much knowledge. And is there any age that you prefer giving lessons, or right now you're just experimenting and trying to get a good hold of it?
Oh, well, that's a great question. I don't think anyone's asked me that, or that I've even really thought about that.
Yeah,
I think what I've noticed is as long as you really want to get better, as long as you're excited about being here and you're going to put in the work, you could be 15 or 60, and it's going to be such a pleasure to work with you. It really is. As long as you're excited about golf, then I mean, Mike and I love it. It doesn't matter the age.
It doesn't.
If you want to come out and be a good student and really put in the work, it's a pleasure.
What's just maybe for us to close up here, what would be your favorite part of the golf game to teach?
Oh, favorite to teach? Short game.
Chipping.
I
was gonna say you're amazing at it, so it's probably like so natural.
Chipping. I could spend
still need like bunker lesson.
Yeah, I could spend 3 hours on the chipping green. Like if you were like, hey, I'm gonna go play 18 holes, great. I'll be on the chipping green, and I'd still be there after you get done.
Yeah.
I love it. I just think there's so much creativity, and I mean, so
it's probably the most important part of the game. So
it definitely helps.
Call her for lessons, guys. Awesomely. This is good. Good stuff.
You asked me way more than I asked you.